If you're seeing this video, you might know that I blew my motor in my car. We have everything taken apart right now. I have some new pistons and rods over here. We have integrated engineering, their forged pistons and some JE forged rods. Over here is the new head. I gotta take the valve cover off of it. That way we can get in there and put all the new bolts in and stuff like that. Right now, what I need to do is find in one of these. It's a coolant flange that goes on the right side of the head. I can't seem to find a part of the rod anywhere, so I'm gonna keep looking around. I think what we're gonna do tonight is probably throw in the pistons and rods since we have the piston rings all cut and gapped correctly. Alright, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take this valve cover off of the head. That way I can get ready to install into the block.
I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling.
Alright, so this is the new head. And we have some gold R cams. I think we have some stiffer springs in here. I'm not 100% sure which ones, just because I bought this used. It's got a little bit more aggressive angle on the valves.
I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. Conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. Busting through the ceiling, busting through the
With the 79,000 votes
All right,
of Joe
so
Biden and Arizona,
got the head put back on.
County or Phoenix. It's a big area here that's going to bring us
Got all of our new bolts put in. Got the turbo put back on. It's at least sitting there. It's on the bottom mounts for the manifold. What are we doing tomorrow?
I would encourage all of our viewers, whether you're on the West Coast,
I'm gonna sit right here and drink beer is what I'm gonna do. You gotta put shit together. You gotta put the coolant neck on, you gotta tighten up the turbo manifold, we need to put the oil pump girdle back
I've been
in.
watching this, Laura.
And,
Last couple of hours now.
I'm gonna sit here and drink beer.
Advantage for Trump over Biden has dropped 0.2 of a point.
Put everything back together by Saturday.
Put the timing chain covers back on, the intake manifold, and valve cover. We're good to go.
Alright. It is the next day, and gonna go ahead and get most of the stuff put back together. We had a problem last night where this cover broke for the oil pump. See right there, that little tab just snapped off. And then also this little tab right here snapped off. So we had to order a new one of those. Those will be here tomorrow. Got a new coolant flange. We're gonna try and get the intake manifold back on. Last night we got the turbo manifold back on. We're gonna put the injectors back in, intake manifold. That coolant flange is gonna go back on. Try and get a lot of these hoses put back to where they need to be. Same thing with connectors. Think that's gonna be it for tonight. Gonna try and get a lot done though. When those two pieces come tomorrow, we can put the oil pump back in, and then that oil pan, downpipe and drive shaft, I guess. Reflash the car and it should be ready to go. Alright, well, I just kind of got going into things and totally forgot to record. What we did, got the new oil pump bounce shaft on with the bounce shaft delete. Still gotta get a new one of those, new one of these things, because ours broke. Got all of the bolts for the manifold put on, so manifold's tight again, and intake manifold on, and then we'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, so I did not record like anything else after I got the car running, just because I was so consumed with doing that I totally forgot, so I apologize for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna sit in my car for a second and talk because it's really cold outside. Yeah, so I didn't like record literally anything at all after I finished building the motor. I don't even know if you guys saw it go all the way back together. I think the last thing I recorded maybe was us putting the pistons in. But after that, I mean, everything went pretty smoothly. We got everything else in. I put my new injectors in, started the car, and the problem was we didn't have a tune for it, for the new injectors, because they're like aftermarket, they're bigger. So, I mean, the car still isn't fully tuned. I'm like 95% of the way there. The only thing that's like rough is idle. Like, that's literally the only problem that I'm having right now. And I mean, as long as I don't sit for like 45 minutes in a parking lot, I'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, everything else is done. So to fix the injector issue, what I went ahead and did is I picked up a set of stock like OEM S3 injectors that have been like redone or remanned or something like that, and I'm gonna send out the ones that I have in the car now to Hungary to have like flow tested at 120 bar or whatever. Okay, so I had to wait a second because someone pulled in, and I looked like some psychopaths in the parking lot taking videos of his car. But so everything's done. You can see the methanol still set. It's just turned off the controller. I mean, the car doesn't look half bad. I mean, for not being washed in a while. Still low. I got some new Laborde Motorsports stickers on it. Yeah, so I mean, like, nothing outside has changed at all. It's really just like, I mean, the motor's built now, so that's the only difference. So like, the car running and driving is like the biggest thing. I mean, like, sure, the like forged rods and all of that other stuff, like, that's definitely a bonus of me, I guess, blowing my motor. I really wasn't planning on building this motor for like a couple more years. I'll put a parts list in the description so you guys can see like everything that we did and everything that's done to the car. But we ended up just buying a head off of someone on Facebook Marketplace who was like one of the groups or like forums, something like that. I'll find out who it is, and I'll link his like Instagram or whatever in the description, because huge shout out to him. He literally sold me like basically everything I needed except for the rods. Like, we bought head studs, and he sent us like rod bearings and the head, everything that we needed. He even had like timing belt covers that had broken when we took them off. So huge shout out to him. He made the process of rebuilding this thing that much easier. I think in all it took us about a week from when we started like pulling the motor apart to get it back together. So it was a relatively quick process. I mean, that was the entire goal. The entire goal while building this motor was to just get everything done as quick as possible. I mean, there's not much else. I'm gonna just drive around. I guess I'll get some driving clips just so you guys can see how the car like is performing. I mean, it's not done with tuning. We haven't turned up the boost or anything from just like the stage 2 or whatever, so it's not anything insane. I mean, it's pretty quick for a 4-cylinder. I forgot to be outro, so thank you guys for watching. I'll put my Instagram in the description, and then also go to my friend Blake's channel where he just posted a new video, and you can catch me in the next one.